and welcome back to my channel. I am so happy to bring you a brand new challenge today. And yeah, my name is Terranova, if you didn't know. But anyways, this is episode number 1 of my Sims 4 Disney's Orphanage Challenge. Yes, it is. And I'm really excited, if you couldn't tell. But anyways, I'm going to get going on because we have so much to do in this episode. But yeah, basically, Disney's Orphanage. Yes, this is an orphanage, especially for young ladies who are going to be future Disney princesses or otherwise other heroines. So yeah, these girls either A, are still waiting for their prince, B, are heroes of their own stories, or C, are still looking for that happy ending. And it's our job to make sure that they are, prepared for life as happy and successful young adults. So yeah. Our staff is entirely women because, let's face it, do you want a guy watching over your little prepubescent girl? I don't think so. It's kind of creepy. They won't be able to understand what's going on in those girls' heads. But anyways, we have 2 caretakers and we have 6 orphans. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce you to them before we get too far into this. Let me see here. Modify in cast. We actually have a little bit to do today for one of our caretakers, but we'll get into that in a second. First of all, we have 2 jobs. We have the caretaker and the groundskeeper, and this is the caretaker. Her name is Elsa Edison, and yeah, she's in charge of the entire orphanage. She's the one who runs everything, pays the bills, talks with the social workers, and arranges the orphans and all that jazz. But her main job is to tend to the children's needs and make sure they're fed and clean and bathed and have all their homework done and such and such. So yes, this is Kendall. Yeah, she has a couple of rules though. She's not allowed to get married while she's running the orphanage, and she has to have the good trait, which you can see right here, she does. Her lifetime wish is to have a successful lineage, which I think is very fitting. Because of that, she is domestic, she is cheerful, good as I said before, and she's a music lover. So yeah, with her traits, I went in a very stereotypical Disney princess style, and I kind of emulated that in her wardrobe. So this is very fun, it's very whimsical, almost like a wannabe princess kind of thing, but yeah, that's her everyday. She does only have one outfit for each, same with all the other girls, so yeah, we're just gonna keep it simple like that. Her formal wear is this. I think it's very nice, very up-to-do and all that stuff. This is what she wears when she's in formal business meetings. But anyways, this is her athletic wear. I really think this is awesome. It's just, with the pink, it looks very girly. And yeah, then her sleepwear is this, very form-fitting, very nice, and kind of almost glamorous, if I may say so. And this is her party wear, and I think this outfit is just adorable with the giant bow on top of her head. It's very fun and free and all that stuff. And then finally her swimwear, which also with the big cutout on the side is more fun, and she just wants to hang out and have a good time with all of the orphans that she's in charge of. But that's Kendall, and she is our main caretaker, as I said. The other adults in our household, which actually they're both young adults right now, is our groundskeeper, and they are responsible for maintaining the orphanage and creating a livable environment for the children. And this is our groundskeeper. It's Sidney Edison. She is Kendall's sister, ever so slightly younger, even though the game thinks that they are the same exact age. But yeah, she's very much the opposite of her sister, where Kendall was very, I don't know, glamorous and fun and like, I don't know, wannabe princess. Like, Sidney is very laid back and she's not all up into that preppy kind of stuff. Yeah, this is her everyday outfit. This is what she takes care of the orphanage in, just some ripped jeans, an old tied shirt, and some comfy shoes. Her formal wear is quite nice, if I do say so. Not as up-to-do as her sister's, but then we have her athletic, which I think it's almost like tomboyish, the bagginess of her pants and stuff, even though she is wearing a very bright pink. Anyways, her sleepwear, just comfies, and her party wear, again, very simple compared to her sister's style, but still she has kind of her own thing going for her here. And finally her swimwear, which may look a little odd because of the shirt tied around her waist, but I just like to pretend that that's her cover-up from her swimwear, and she didn't really fully take it off. She's just like, I'm not gonna get in the pool anyways. I work so hard all day. I just want to lounge and be lazy. That's why she has that on. So I don't know. I just thought it was really kind of fun and unique. But yeah, anyways, that is Sidney. And don't worry about any of this because we will be changing it. Basically, part of the challenge is that our groundskeeper will be randomly rolled, and there are 6 options. There's the ideal worker, the adorably good intentions worker, the lazy, crazy couch potato, the in tune with nature, the two-timer, and the worst nightmare. And those are all the different personalities for our worker. And obviously 3 of them are pretty good, 3 of them are not so great, so we'll see what we get in a little bit. But first I want to go over our orphans. I did do create a sim videos for each of them individually, but I do want to address a couple of changes that I have made since those videos. So first up is Alice, and I kind of changed all their last names, so it's Alice in Wonderland. But yeah, I just have a couple changes on her. Her athletic wear, I found a new shirt with the Cheshire Cat on it, and same with her PJs. This one, I think it's cool. It says Bad Tea Party, and it has Alice in a little teacup, and it's like spinning around, and there's swirly stuff all over, and it's just like chaotic. But I like it. And then finally we have her swimwear, which I got her a little tank top with herself on there. So that is our Alice in Wonderland. Up next we have Rapunzel, the Lost Princess, and the first thing you may notice is I changed her hair. This is custom content hair. I like it because it's a little longer than the last style I had on her, and I really like the little bangs. I think they're adorable and very sweet and innocent looking, and kind of resembles Rapunzel from the movie a little more than the other hairstyle. But moving on, we did change her formal dress to this. It's still obviously Rapunzel with the little ties in the front, but I think it's much more ball gowny than her original dress. And I believe, yeah, her athletic and PJs also changed. I just changed the bottoms. I thought these went a little better. And then finally her swimwear. I have that tank top for her as well. So that's Rapunzel. Next we have Tiana, the Frog Princess. And I changed quite a bit on her actually. I did make her self-assured. I'm not entirely sure. I don't recall what her trait was before in the Create a Sim video, but I did change that. I also changed her formal wear, and I gave her the little tiara thing from the Spooky Stuff pack, and I gave her her blue dress. And I actually changed her party to the same exact thing except the green dress. So that's that. And her PJs, I think this is a new shirt for her pajamas, and her swimwear also changed, and that's again the tank top. I just kind of plopped the tank top on everyone who they had the option for. But anyways, you may have also noticed I also gave her dimples. So yeah, I just think, who's Tiana without dimples? Anyways, moving on, we have Tinkerbell, and I found all this new CC before I made Tinkerbell, so the only thing I changed on her was I made her eyes a tiny bit bigger. So yeah, big change. Moving on, we have Elsa and Anna. I kind of did the same things with them. I changed their last name to of Arendelle, so Elsa of Arendelle and Anna of Arendelle. I made both of their eyes slightly bigger, and I gave them a new t-shirt for their pajamas. So this is obviously Elsa's. It's Anna and Elsa, and their like hair is like braided together, and I just think it's super sweet. And yeah, and then I'll put her back in her everyday first. For Anna, her pajama shirt is also of the 2 of them, but on the bottom it says True Love, and then it says something else that's too small for me to read. But yeah, I just think it's very, very adorable, and it suits both of them quite well. So anyways, that's our family, our 6 orphans, and our groundskeeper and our caretaker. So now I think it's time to see which which caretaker groundskeeper we're gonna have. So I have a 6-sided die with me, and I'm just gonna roll it real quick and see which one we get, and then we'll fix her traits and all that to go with it. So we got a number 5, so that is the 2-timer, and basically the 2-timer, the only specifications is they must have a secondary job besides being just the groundskeeper. And there are no restrictions on the traits or the lifetime wish that we have for her. So I'm going to go ahead and change these to whatever I want then, which may take me a moment because I didn't think about this. I think we can go to, let's do family. Let's just do the big happy family because the groundskeeper wants to make sure all the kids have a nice environment so that they can be happy. And we will give her, what should we give her? What are different things that we can do? She's gonna have another job, so maybe she's ambitious. She's working 2 jobs. She has to make money somehow. I don't know. She's gotta be neat because she's gotta take care of the place. What else can we do? What else can we do? Should we make her good too? I think we should probably make her good too. And I'm going to take away neat because I don't want it to be too helpful. She's already got ambitious. Should we make her a loner? I feel like she's not going to have a lot of interaction time with the other Sims. Let me just go through and see if we can find anything else. Maybe we can make her like childish. I don't know. Yeah, no, we'll just make her cheerful like her sister. So yeah, Kendall and Sidney, very cheerful people. Must run in the family. Alright, so that is our family, and our groundskeeper has now been chosen. So yeah, the 2-timer, not the worst. But I was really hoping for like an ideal worker or like the adorably good intentions worker. But at least we didn't get like a lazy slob worker. So yeah. Anyways, let's take a nice official tour of our orphanage because I don't know, you've probably seen a couple bits and pieces in the intro video. But yeah, we'll start at the bottom. I'm just gonna make this very quick. The whole thing about the orphanage, I should say right away, is that Disney needed this orphanage to start immediately. They needed new princesses and lead ladies for their stories who would be prepared to, you know, be young adults and be in those stories. So they got Kendall and Sidney to splurge all of their money on getting this huge building that was big enough to take care of all the girls, and really that left not a lot of simoleons for like decorations and really fancy things. A lot of stuff did come in the building though, so that explains some of the fancier looking things, but they did not purchase them. It was all part of the big house, which I guess they did purchase it because they spent like all their money and they're literally left with 10,000 simoleons. But anyways, that's the story behind that. And let's see here. I have like a printout of all my rules that I made for this challenge. But anyways, they don't have a lot of money, and the biggest thing that they have to do is they are good people. They want to try to donate to other charities and such. So whenever they have the available funds, they will donate to charity. And yeah, so they don't have a lot. It looks like they have quite a bit, but really we have lots of ways to take away their money. But anyways, so there are a few rules, and there are a certain number and types of rooms that the Sims must have in this orphanage. So this is just the like front foyer, just little seating room, basic couches and stuff, and a fish, and nothing on like the walls or anything. I give them a couple plants and such, but yeah. Then right off to this side, we have 2 archways. One leads into the dining room, just a big table. Each Sim has a chair that they can sit at and table space, which is one of the rules for the dining room. But again, the decorations are very simple, and we have this little bar thing up here and this door, which I think it's very, very creative how the creator of this lot did this, but it leads into the kitchen, and it looks like a super fancy kitchen, but I took out all of the electronics and the appliances and I replaced them with much cheaper versions. So in this challenge, the rule for the kitchen is that the appliances must be worth less than 3,000 simoleons, and I did that. Altogether, let me see if I can find, I don't know where I wrote it down, but altogether, these, the double fridges, the microwave, and the stove, and the coffee machine in this was like just shy of 3,000 simoleons, so I did that. They have really nice industrial looking cabinets and such, desks, what are these called? Counters. But that's not where the money went. It was the appliances that the 3,000 went for. But anyways, moving on. On this side of the building, we have the study / skill room. And yeah, I'm gonna just put the walls down half wall for a little bit. We do have these 6 little study nooks with the desk, and they're all identical in the setup. They have the trash bin, books, and the flowers. They're just all in a variation of colors. So yeah, and then this over here is the one computer that they are allowed in the study room, and then obviously bookshelves, and I have a couple of little seats for a reading area. And anyways, so then the skill room, the rule is that they can only have 4 skill building objects at a time, and we're allowed to change these throughout the challenge to fit our needs. Right now I have all objects that cater to children, so I have the children's violin, and I have 2 little art tables, and I chose Tiana and Rapunzel obviously because they are the 2 we have. And the 4th item I put outside, it is the monkey bars. So yeah, those are the rules for the skill challenge, the skill building room. And then if we go upstairs, we have, I'll put the walls up again. We have this little seating area, and very bare walls. But over here, I'll start over here. We have the 1 bathroom in the orphanage. Oh, I had a tickle in my throat. But it's like a locker room bathroom. It's got the 3 little stalls for the toilets, couple sinks lined up. It's got 2 bathtubs and the 2 showers and little doors to get into all of those. But yeah, so that's very, I don't know. It's just one big bathroom that everyone shares. But anyways, moving on, we have the, what is this? The rec room, the recreation room. We're only allowed 3 main things in the rec room, and they are a fun object, and a computer, and an athletic object. So obviously here's our computer. Our athletic object is a yoga mat, which I don't know if any of them can actually use that yet, but I'm not too worried about it. And then we have, for our fun object, the dollhouse, which I thought was perfect because it's a big castle. But anyways, yeah, moving on over here. Put the walls up so you can't see. We have the double doors here, which lead into the office, which the girls aren't supposed to be in, but they saw the nice computer and went to play right away. I will fix that. That's supposed to be locked. But anyways, this is the main head office for the orphanage. This is Kendall's office, where she deals with social workers and adoption stuff and just all that kind of stuff for paperwork and such. And don't worry about the walls because they're completely bare because we're broke. But anyways, this is her room. She does have 1 painting on the walls. It's some flowers, but it's a very small room. And she's got some double doors that lead out onto the patio. Ooh, camera control problems. But she is the only one who has access up here. And then I put just a yoga mat up here for herself. Just because I feel like the restrictions on the items and such are for the orphans because they're the ones that the challenge is actually about. So I thought giving her a little something would be nice. But then yeah, this archway just kind of leads into this like seating room, and we have a little like poof chair for all of the girls, and we have this little dresser, a lamp, and then this doll, which it can be used for fun, but it's just a giant doll. It's more for decoration. They can talk to it if they want and get their social up, but I'm not too worried about that. And then through the door here we have the girls' room, the nursery kind of. Over here, this is obviously Tiana's area, and each bed area will have a personal item from the girls. So Tiana's personal item are the cookbooks, and I like it because it's got the big gumbo pot on top. But then if we spin around, we have this big like dresser, kind of, I don't know, huge vanity thing. And the girls, 3 of the girls share this. And then over here we have 2 of the like more generic beds. My cat keeps jumping on my desk. But anyways, so this is Alice from Alice in Wonderland. This is her poster that she has, and that's her personal item. And over here is Tinkerbell, obviously, with a painting of herself, and she's got some little like tools and gadgets and stuff to invent with. But then this is the archway to the second half of the room, and we have Rapunzel's stuff, and her personal item is the little sun statue wall thing that her kingdom's, I don't know, it's like her kingdom's icon, and I kind of put the curtains around it just because I thought it was kind of cool, made it look a little less blah. But yeah, anyways, over here we have an identical vanity thing with Kleenexes, and then we have 2 more generic beds over here, and being the last 2, they must belong to Anna and Elsa. Elsa has these snowflakes strung around her window, and Anna has this little caribou looking thing that I'm gonna be honest, I struggled to find an item for her, so this reminded me of Sven, so that's why she has that. But anyways, that's the Orphans Room. So yeah, that is our orphanage. Oh, I forgot to mention, the dining room has this little archway that leads into this little, like, outdoor patio, and it is, like, underneath the bedroom upstairs, so it's kind of secluded, and I don't know, I thought that was really cool. But anyways, moving on, there's one more building over here on the plaza, and if you may have noticed, Sidney doesn't have a bedroom in the house. So being the groundskeeper, she does have her own quarters. And put the walls down. This is going to be locked to just her in a second, but I forgot to do that before I started filming. And yeah, so there is a reason it looks very dark and not dark, it's very bright, but it's very blah and bland, and she hardly has any furniture. She doesn't even have a real bed. She has an air mattress cot thing, but I did give her own little bathroom and kitchenette so she can take care of herself over here. She doesn't have to go to the main house. And really the only rules for this was she had to have a dresser, nightstand, and a bed. And I gave her the cheapest ones I could possibly find. But the thing is that she is working for the orphanage. So every week Sidney will get paid, and I think it's like 120 simoleons a week or more. But the way she's gonna get paid is we're just gonna buy her stuff for her quarters. And so if I hop into like build mode, the way I'm gonna do it is that if she wants a rug, I can buy her this one for 110 simoleons, and she'll have 10 simoleons left. I can find something for 10, or I can like save it till next week, or I can be nice and buy her this 145 simoleon tarp if she would prefer that. And yeah, then we could just be nice and pay extra, or yeah, like I said earlier, save it till next week's payday. So that is how that's gonna work. That's why she has a really crappy living quarters right now. It's because she is employed by the orphanage. And yeah, so that's that. Moving on, over here we have, on the other side of the plaza, we have our garden, and there are some rules with the garden. Basically it should be the groundskeeper's responsibility to raise the garden and use as many of the fruits and veggies as possible and stuff, but also to use this as a money maker. But the groundskeeper's main goal is to fix and repair objects in the house and to make sure there's no filthy surroundings. So if those aren't met, then she can't work on the garden, and the children must tend the garden. But there's also another way that the children tend the garden, but I'll get to that in a little bit. If you look over here, there are 2 doors off of the main sitting room, and they lead out into this huge backyard pool area, and there's like a little hot tub area, or like a mini pool, and then there's other little seating area that we can use for parties and stuff, but currently both of those doors are locked and no one can go back there. That pool area is strictly for like special occasions and such. But anyways, moving on. I have a couple more rules I want to talk about. But anyways, the first thing I want to say is that whenever we adopt a new orphan, because these orphans will age up and move out eventually, we have to pay the standard adoption fee, which is 1,000 simoleons. So I'm going to go ahead and open my cheat bar here and take away the 6,000 for the 6 orphans that we just adopted. And I do that by going and typing sims.modify _funds, and I'm gonna do minus 6,000. That didn't work. Testing cheats on. Sims.modify _funds minus 6,000. Alright, so we have 4,000 simoleons left. That's gonna be like not even close to enough to pay our first bills. So we have pressure now to make money as quickly as possible. But anyways, every time that we adopt a child, as I said, it's gonna cost us 1,000 simoleons, and every time we have an orphan move out of the house, we actually have to give them 800 simoleons to kind of get started in life, I suppose. So, we're gonna need a lot of money, especially once these girls will start aging up at once. And usually what we'll do is we will adopt one at a time when we need them, and just replace the orphans as they age up and kind of move out. But sometimes, occasionally, we will have siblings come in, because that happens in orphanages. This time it just happens to be Anna, who's in the bathroom in there, and Elsa, who we can't see. So they are siblings, and there's a special rule for siblings when they move out. Basically, they can age up whenever they are ready to and they meet the requirements, which I'll go over next. But they cannot move out without the other being ready to move out as well. So say Anna or Elsa is all aged up into a young adult and they've met all of the requirements for the challenge and they're ready to go start their life. She can't leave until her sister is ready to as well. So it just kind of hinders our progress a little bit because we can't take in a new orphan until the other one is ready. But yeah, for when they age up, there are a couple of things that they have to do. Children, before they can age into teens, must have an A in school, and they must complete their starting aspiration, which I gave them all, one of the children ones. And they have to reach level 10 in a specific skill related to their character. So I've kind of pre-chosen the skills that they'll learn in order to age up. And I'll go over that in the next episode when we kind of start working on them. But for teens to age up into young adults, they also have to have an A in school, and they have to reach level 10 in a second specified skill related to their character. And that's the only thing for sure right now. I'm contemplating having them complete a teen job, but I'm not sure. I might do something else to kind of make the challenge a little more difficult for them to age up. But anyways, that's the aging thing. So obviously our goal is to age up as many girls as we can for Disney so that they complete their stories. My goal in this challenge is going to be to have 30 orphans successfully raised and into young adults and out of the house. And the way I have defined successful and happy young adults is basically they have to earn, I'll go here, in their little reward store, they have to earn a minimum of 1,500 happiness points, reward points, and they have to purchase 3 things. They have to purchase the Always Welcome, because Disney is always welcome in our homes, and they have to get the Great Storyteller, because they all have a great story to tell, and then finally the Moodlet Solver. So it's basically makes them happy for life. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. So all of those do together cost 1,500. So as long as we can purchase all of those, we will meet the requirement for happy and successful. So those are the requirements that have to be done before they can move out, along with each of their age requirements, aging up requirements. But there are ways to fail this challenge, and just like any other challenge. And There are also punishments for not meeting requirements in this challenge, but I don't think that those not being met are severe enough to end the challenge, so I came up with small punishments. And yeah, basically, if we have an orphan that ages up into a young adult on their own and does not meet the requirements for happy and successful, they don't count towards the total number of raised Disney heroines that we have. So if Tinkerbell ages up and she's not happy and successful, she can move out still, but we have to find someone else to replace her. She doesn't count towards the 30. Next, if a child or teen ages up before completing their specific requirements, they have to raise an additional skill to level 10 for each requirement that they failed to meet. So if, I'm picking on Tinkerbell, if she doesn't get a skill to level 10 before she ages up into a teen, or she doesn't have an A in school, before she can move out, even if she's already a young adult, she has to gain an additional skill to level 10. Next, if a child goes to school before completing their homework, then the orphanage has to pay 50 simoleons for private tutoring for that sim. So I don't think there's a private tutoring option in the game, but I'm just going to take 50 simoleons every time an orphan goes to school with incomplete homework. So that is going to be on Kendall to make sure that they get it done. And yeah, that's one of her jobs. Next, if a child misses a day of school, they are grounded from any fun activities for the rest of the day, and that is when they have to help the caretaker and groundskeeper kind of clean up around the orphanage. They have to help with chores, and if there's nothing else for them to do, they have to help Sidney in the garden, or they have to go onto a computer and practice their typing until they go to bed. So those are the punishments. I thought they were very reasonable. Basically, I didn't think it would be fair to lose the challenge, but I didn't want it to make it so easy that not meeting those requirements didn't count. So the punishments obviously are there to help set back and balance the challenge rules. But there are 3 ways to fail this challenge, I decided. And if any of the children are taken by child services, our orphanage has to shut down and we fail. If any of the orphans die, the orphanage shuts down and we fail. And if the caretaker dies without any successor assigned, then the orphanage gets shut down and we fail. So yeah, I don't plan on making this a legacy, but I did set their lifespans too long, and if our dear Kendall meets an untimely death and I don't have anyone lined up to replace her or to take Sydney's place, if Sidney steps up and takes care of the orphanage, then we have to close it down, and obviously we can't have an orphanage challenge if we don't have an orphanage. So yeah, that's basically this challenge. I do want to say that I will have all of the detailed rules and such for this challenge on my website, which is linked below. It'll have its own little webpage and stuff. I don't have that set up yet, but I don't know, probably by next week I'll have it all set up so you can see, and I'll have like little detailed things about all of our orphans and our progress and stuff. So yeah, anyways, this, I also want to say that this challenge and these specific rules are completely my own. I spent a long time kind of deciding on the rules for this challenge, and I did take inspiration from 3 main places. I will link those down below if you want to check out their versions of this challenge, but they are by Shipperky, SimLady36, and Uninfinite. Yes, those are the 3 that I took my most of my inspiration from, but as I said already, the specific combination of these rules is completely my own. This is my challenge, and I'm really excited to start it and see how it goes. But yeah, anyways, I think this this has gone on long enough. I've just been rambling for most of this episode, but tomorrow's episode, we will definitely get in some gameplay, and we have the rest of Sunday before the kids go to school. Hopefully we can get to know them a little bit, start working on some of their requirements, and yeah, get this orphanage up and running. But anyways, thank you for watching this first introductory video of my Sims 4 Disney's Orphanage Challenge. Yeah, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Also, yeah, check out my Twitter account, my webpage, I don't know, whatever you want to do. Just let me know what you think of the challenge rules and stuff. Leave a comment, all that fun stuff. Anyways, my name is Terra Nova, and thank you for watching, and have an absolutely fantastic day. Bye, guys.